Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Book Asylum. I'm Jen, and I am here with Cam right now. Cam Winery is a brand new author on the circuit, and you all need to check him out because this kid, he is up and coming, and his father is also a writer. Welcome to the show, Cam.
Thank you for having me, Jen. Not only is he a
No,
writer, he's been on your podcast before too.
he has. We love Murr. Murr Winery is been on our podcast. It's been a minute. We're
Yeah.
hoping to have him back soon whenever he gets a chance. But I'm honored. I got two generations of wineries. This is
There we go.
awesome. So do me a favor and tell me your book and a little bit about it.
Well, my book is called Dead Neon Blues. It is a sort of a dystopian uh, collection of short stories that begins from the perspective of what is supposedly the last human on Earth, like about 70,000 years in the future, who stumbles across an old library that's just sort of it's like a collection house of these things called data discs that are each data disc is a memory, which is a short story that details the story of someone or someone's from the world before it ended, quote unquote.
Okay.
um and I genre hop a lot in it, in a way that I wanted to make it cohesive, but it's a blend of really just about everything. I feel like that in a way that works. It's got a little bit of horror here and there. It's got a lot of sort of Blade Runner philosophical type dramatic stories and
Oh,
just some
sweet.
good old fashioned. I love a good action movie and a good action
Right.
story. So we've got some action. We got a little action in there, and even a little, if you can believe it or not, and I'm not going to say much on it because I want people to be surprised for themselves, but a little tinge of sword and sorcery, just because that's just me, and I love sword and sorcery. I grew up on it, so
That is so cool.
I I had a great time writing that part. Let me tell you, that was definitely a challenge, I would say.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, that's yeah, I think
sorry, I'm
that's
trying to figure out how to get this because for some reason it won't let me share it, but that's fine.
yeah.
Um, so you okay, how old are you? Because you look like a baby.
I am. When I have the beard grown, I don't look like a baby. I swear. But I am 23. I'll be 24 on Christmas Eve. So
Oh
I'm
my God.
pretty
And
decently young.
you're published.
Yeah. Yes, I am. That is that is a fact. Yes, I am a
How do
published
you
author.
feel?
It's
23 years old and you are doing what all of us old authors wanted to do at that age.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Like it's I know I feel good about it, but it
Right.
is crazy because I keep seeing all these older people that are like, "How are you? How? Like, how are you published?" I'm like, man, I don't know. I guess I just got lucky,
Well, in all
really.
fairness, you're second generation. Your dad helped you out quite a bit.
Oh, he did.
Um, yeah, I'm sure he knew some people and knew what to
Yeah.
tell you, where to go,
He did.
so that's helpful when you have someone in your back pocket that already knows and already has been there, done that.
Yeah, definitely. He's and not even just that too, but I feel like I've grown so much as a writer because of him too, because I grew up like I remember being a kid and watching him write and like
Yeah.
not understanding like why can't I read what dad's writing, and then I read it later on, I'm like, holy shit, that's why I wasn't allowed to read as a
That's
kid.
why.
He's pretty damn grotesque. It definitely something I understood later, but as I got older and read his stories that he told. There's a couple specific stories. I don't want to I could spend forever talking about him. There's a couple specific stories in his second collection that really resonated with me and I just absolutely adored. And like I mean I it is it's I know it's super stereotypical to say, but like dad was like a superhero and I was like, I want to be like dad when I grew
Yeah.
up. And
No, that's cool.
storytelling came very natural to me, funnily enough. I always did it. I mean,
Yeah.
even when I wasn't putting pen to paper, I was telling a story of some kind.
That's
That's
awesome. And I hear that a lot from authors who, a lot of them are like, yeah, no, I was drawing books before I even knew how to write, you know. So I
yeah.
really think that that's really cool, really fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
So obviously you have support, which is
Of
extremely
course.
helpful.
Always, yeah,
How
always.
have your friends even caught the writing bug yet? Because a lot of times some people are like, I should write a book. And I always, if they're friends, I'm like, yeah, you should. Everybody should.
I have a couple friends that have been bitten by the writing bug. Just a couple. I actually have a friend. One of the stories is dedicated to him. Actually, a friend of mine who lives over in the Netherlands, who I've known since I was probably, oh god, I don't know, 15 or 16, and we connected through um, like role playing games and a love of a specific game. We met on social media and stuff like that, and we just talked and we've stayed in connection for almost 10 years. And just
Hmm.
I remember like sharing like works that I never published, like stuff that I just written in my spare time, but like, hey, what do you think of this? And he would read it, and he one day he was just like, man, I really loved your story, and it made me like I've had some ideas I wanted to write stuff too. And I had a Western collection that I was writing for that I was putting up on Wattpad for free, which, once I learned that I had some actual talent, I took that shit right down because you ain't getting that for free.
Attaboy.
Yeah, there you go. But he actually wrote a short story for that collection, and I always really liked it. It was his first delve into that, and he was really proud of it. And I knew he got bit by the writing bug because he finished it, and he was like, "Man, I wish I'd done this different. I changed this, and I changed that, and I did that." And I'm like, "That's you're a writer, man. That's what it is." He was
Right.
the one that it really bit him the hardest. My brother dabbles in some writing too from time to time. Um,
Oh, sweet. How
right?
old is he?
He's 17. Like, it's just we're all
Jesus.
there. We're all
You
there.
guys are.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened. I guess something just
Your
it's
dad is
inherited.
very influential
He is,
on
but
all of you.
what's funny though is he never like he always encouraged us to be creative, but he never was like you should sit down and write a book. He just encouraged us to be creative, and it just kind
Okay.
of was a natural step, that we're like let's try our hand at writing and just see how it works. And I loved it immediately. I mean, immediately fell in love with it. It was just instantaneous for me.
Wow.
Um,
I mean, that's cool. Because, I mean,
yeah,
like, not many parents are like, well, I think more parents nowadays are supportive of their kids and, hey, let's figure out an outlet because creativity is actually therapeutic for a lot of people. I was just talking to
mhm,
somebody else about that, which that'll be a podcast that'll come out on Saturday. But being creative and doing like art stuff, whether it's drawings, my husband does scratch boards, we write, doing stuff like that, I think helps with a lot of different things, anxieties. It helps with, it's very therapeutic. Depending on the
yeah,
type of drawing or the type of writing that you're doing, it could be cleansing to the soul, so I really think
yeah.
that is an excellent, excellent, excellent thing. And everybody needs to have at least one creative outlet somehow for
Oh
some
yeah.
kind of release. So,
Wholeheartedly agree. Wholeheartedly
mhm,
agree. Creativity is like I learned, especially with writing this book, because this book was something that I really delved deep into myself to write. It was
right.
something that like I was writing this book, and there hit a point, I'd say probably towards the latter quarter of it, where I realized like how much I was learning about myself through writing it. Because I was
Wow.
writing things that was really like profound to me, and they were things that I believed, but like it was a subconscious thing. And it's like, man,
Hmm.
like I didn't realize how much this would resonate with me on a very deeply spiritual, like on a personal level. And it
Right.
was something that really it hit. And then I think after that, it was just like I realized at that point, like I knew I always had a passion for writing, but at that point, I was like, this is a calling to me. This is something that I don't know who I would be if I didn't have that.
Right.
But I wouldn't be me. I mean, I'd be
Right.
completely different. It would be a whole new experience. But yeah,
That's crazy.
writing and storytelling is just something that always I just kind of did. I never thought about it. I just did it.
That's insane. I think that a lot of people kind of dismiss it,
Yeah, I think
and
so.
you really shouldn't.
I
Shouldn't
agree
dismiss it at all.
completely. Especially with
So,
books. Books are kind of they feel like a dying breed in a strange way sometimes. Like they're still
yeah.
there, but it's not like I mean, like we were talking before the podcast started about like Stephen King and like
Yeah.
the next big, I'm not gonna start that, but like the next big release, like
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I saw that, like, now, like,
Yeah.
as a huge release. It's the next big blockbuster film or the next Marvel movie or whatever, and it feels like
I
that's.
will say when Stephanie Meyer's books came out, Twilight books,
Oh, yeah. I know the Twilight books.
I was a total twihard. I was an adult too. I was a total twihard. I like I got I how did I got like all four of her books from like a book club that you would like mail in. It was so long ago. And I had them on my shelf for like a year and a half. And then I heard they were getting ready to make movies out of them. So then I was like, well, now I got to read them
Yeah, I got it
because
now. Yeah.
if I'm gonna go see the movie, I want to see how bad the movie is compared to the book. It was spot on. It was exactly the same. So Stephanie Myers still did a really good job at making sure that her books stayed true to her writing or
Yeah.
her
And
movies.
yeah. And love it or hate it. Love or hate Twilight, because there is definitely a love-hate relationship with that movie.
Yes. Yes.
They are very faithful to those books from what
Yes,
I've
they
heard.
are.
I've never read the books. I've seen the entirety of the first movie. I know that I saw the second movie, but I remember nothing from it. And I have seen so many clips throughout the years. And it's one of those things where it's like I watch it and it's like, don't get me wrong, I don't like them, but I like from like a objective standpoint, but I watch them and I have so much fun watching it. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, am I a Twilight fan? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
You
it's
know what?
crazy.
You can keep it on the DL. That's okay.
And sometimes it's fun to just watch a movie that you just don't that you're just completely flabbergasted by, because that's what
I
Twilight is for me.
I will sit there and like, okay, I can't stand Stephen King. I think he is a terrible human being and I think he is a terrible author. I think his books start out really well and then like it's almost like dude gets tired of writing them and they just fall flat on their face.
It was the
So
cocaine, man.
it was either the coke or the alcohol, I'm not sure which, but they they just fall short. The endings always fall short, except for The Stand. I really like The Stand.
That seems to be like that. I think if I remember correctly, that's one of my dad's favorites from Stephen King was The Stand.
Yes.
And the Dark Tower. My dad always liked the Dark Tower too. I never, like I said, I've never really. I've seen so many films from Stephen King. But I've always noticed some of my favorites have been the ones that weren't scary, like The Green Mile,
Yeah.
Stand by Me,
That was The
Shawshank
Green
Redemption.
Mile was a
Like,
great movie. I
I've
didn't read
never
the
read the
book.
book. I've
I
heard the
didn't read the
books,
book.
or they were released in like installments from what I know. Because it's Stephen King book, so it's not a Stephen King book if it's not like under 900 pages, or if it's
Oh
not
my
over
god,
900
yes.
pages. Like
Right.
when I learned it was 1,000-page book, I was like, okay, so I can kind of understand the two movies being
Yeah.
5 hours
It
in total.
usually I was working at a jail at that time. I was a third shift CO, working 16 hours. I I bought it because I was also working at Books a Million,
Yeah,
and I got it for like we got a bomb ass discount for working there.
yeah.
So I bought it and I read it, and it took me a month. I never in the history of reading books have ever taken a month where I'm reading it every day and still not get that bitch is like 1,300 pages, man.
I just like remember like I've seen like a physical copy of it, and that shit's like a
It's
Bible when
this
you pick it up. It's like
goddamn thick.
it's ridiculously thick, and then I'm like, oh, all of his books are like that. Okay, yeah, that's not
It's
for
like,
me.
yeah, it's like a fucking dictionary.
It is crazy how long
Oh,
his
but
books are.
hold on 1 second.
Oh God,
Here's Salem's Lot.
that's
I
like isn't that
still,
his first book?
I don't know. I still have yet to read it. I can't
I've heard
bring
that's
myself.
like a
My
classic.
dogs are going to start barking. So
I'm
sorry,
surprised you
everybody.
haven't heard mine. Mine are loud.
Yeah, because they're little assholes. I got 3 German Shepherds, and then my mother in law has one, a German Shepherd.
Oh, there
So
you go. I've got a
they
Chihuahua and a
howl.
wiener dog, so
Oh, you've got a hell dog.
yeah, yeah.
I am convinced that the hellhounds that people have written about in stories and stuff,
Chihuahuas,
they're
yeah.
not, yes, they're not actually huge big black beefy dogs. They are little itty bitty chihuahuas that just nip at your ankles. But I got this at a used I got this at a used bookstore. It in Oro Valley here or Tucson here. We have a library that is like friends of the or it's there's a bookstore that's like it sells all of the books or people donate books and they sell books and give the money to the library. So I went there and checked it out and I was like, huh, this is like brand new. The spine isn't even bent. And I got it for $3. That's all
That's
you're worth, Stephen King, is $3.
I mean, nowadays, it's I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
you
ever get it. And all I mean, like I don't even know what he does these days. He just kind of does his own
he
thing, I
sits
guess.
on X and runs his mouth. That is literally all he does.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
And then
X.
he cries, and then he cries to everybody about how he's not making any money on his movies. Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
does.
although I've heard the new film from Francis Lawrence, the Long Walk that's based on his
The
book is
Long Walk.
actually pretty solid, which like
I
could be, but it sounds kind of boring to me personally. But I like boring movies, so I don't know.
but I mean, my thing is if you can make people walking, and turn it into, I mean, my God, you've got Mark Hamill in it, who's
Yeah,
pushing all
yeah,
these people walking, and you're making it seem like it's a horror movie, and whether it's a thriller, a horror, whatever, I kind of want to see it, even though I can't
yeah,
stand Stephen King, but I really kind of want to see it because
yeah. Like
if you can make it work, that'd be some
yeah.
shit.
I mean, I'm just saying, like J.R.R. Tolkien made 3 books that it's just about people fucking walking, and it's one of the greatest literary
You're
achievements.
not wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You're
I mean,
not
I remember
wrong.
like my girlfriend, God bless her, she puts up with me. When we
She's
first started
so
dating together.
adorable, by the way.
Yeah, she is. She's super super cute. But she made the mistake of answering truthfully when I asked her if she'd ever seen Lord of the Rings, and she's like, "No, I
Ay.
haven't." And I'm like, "Oh, that's
Oh, and you
you
made
made a
her.
oh well, we've gotten to
Oh,
the first 2, but also unluckily for her, she's like, "Which one are we watching?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm not a bitch. I don't watch a theatrical cut. We watching the extended cuts."
oh
So
God.
she sat through like probably close to 7 hours of Lord of the Rings by now. We still haven't seen Return of the King,
She's
and
hardcore.
and it takes everything in me. Like every time I get to a scene where like I know a random behind the scenes fact, and it takes everything in me to be like, don't pause it and tell her. Just let her watch the movie.
Yes.
Just shut
Yes.
up and watch it.
Yes.
But
Because I'll tell
like,
you what, that's more restraint than my husband has.
oh my god, every time we get to the 2 towers and Viggo Mortensen kicks the orc helmet, I'm like the urge to be like, did you know that he broke his toe in that scene? Did you know? Like just every time I watch that movie, I think about that, and I'm just like, I wonder if there's somebody who doesn't know that because
Well,
it's like
I
the most.
didn't know that.
Well, yeah, well, he did. There you go. Now you know. There's so many other things in that which I'm not even gonna get into. If I start talking about Lord of the Rings, I won't shut up the entire time. But
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like Tolkien really made 3 books that's just about people walking across the country.
You're
And
not wrong.
Peter Jackson said, I can make that into a movie. And everyone's like, oh, well, how are you going to make a movie about people walking? And then he did 3, and the shortest one is 3 hours and 20 minutes. And
Right.
all 3 of them are great. Like, I don't know how they
Right.
did it. But,
Right.
and then they
I
did The
will
Hobbit,
say,
which we don't talk about The Hobbit, but that's
I
okay.
I'm I had such a hard time with that one. I
The,
don't even think that I watched it.
the first
I
one, I
think
was like,
yeah,
that was good. And
I
after that,
think I started to, and then I like probably fell asleep because that's usually what I do. I can stay awake reading books, but watching movies, if I'm bored with it, I fall asleep. Let me explain something to you. Now I'm way older than you. I'm old enough to be your mother. And my friends sat there, Jack and Dan, who used to be on the show regularly before we started doing one-on-one, them two gave me a list of movies from the 80s that I have to watch. And they're older than me. Okay. So we'll just
okay.
leave that there.
Oh boy. All right. Yeah.
Chud. You ever heard of it?
Not,
Yeah,
not heard of that.
exactly. Talk to your dad about it. I'm sure he has. Absolutely do not. I
Oh man.
must have started. I still have yet to finish it to this day. I have started it and restarted it probably 20 times and I cannot make it through the damn movie. I fall asleep.
It's just boring.
It's to me, and I love B-rated horror.
Oh, sheesh.
And then I will say Killer Clowns. I did watch that. It was in
Outer
segments,
Space.
but yeah, I can't
I've never seen it.
oh,
I've
I
never
can't
seen
believe
it.
it's making a comeback. Don't waste your fucking time because popcorn is explosive. You just that's all you need to know. That's probably the coolest part. Their costumes are so bad.
That's kind of it. I always heard about it, and I was like, this sounds like something that would be on like Mystery Science Theater,
It
back
does.
in like the '90s. It
It
really seems like
does.
that. The like, oh my, like the movies like Santa Claus versus the Martians, which I'm like,
Yes.
how is that a real movie?
Right.
Like,
But I
oh my
don't
god,
understand any of these people. And then Rubber, somebody else told me, oh, it was Jack Childress told me, oh, you need to watch Rubber. No, it's about a demonic tire. Yeah. How does
okay.
that work?
Look, I get Carpenter did a haunted car with Christine, and I know that was technically a Stephen King book,
Yes.
but like, you're losing me with a tire.
A tire,
I'll take the
legit
car.
tire. There's not even a wheel. It's not even on a rim. It's just a tire
And
that
I
runs
just like,
around. How are these people dying from this thing? Because I mean,
yeah.
you can't go that fast.
Well, like, and I like it's funny because like my dad, being a film guy and also being a really sleazy Italian horror movie buff. Like growing up, he
Ah,
had the list. It's like when you're old enough, we're gonna watch some Fulci, we're gonna watch some Argento, and I was like,
oh, that's
I don't know about that. And
hilarious.
I remember like the first time I saw Lucia Fulci's Zombie, which funnily enough was random trivia fact. He called it
Yeah.
Zombie 2 because George Romero's Dawn of the Dead in Italy was just called
Yeah.
Zombie. So he just straight up called it
Yes.
Zombie 2 to profit off of that, which I think is hilarious.
That's
But I
fucking
watched
hilarious.
Zombie and I was like, this movie is god awful, but it's actually really enjoyable. It's so
I'm
much
gonna
fun.
have to have your dad send me some stuff.
Oh, he's got some weird shit. He's seen movies. I'm like, how the heck, how have you even seen this?
How did
He
you
told me
hear about him?
well, because he's like, I remember going to the VHS store when I was like 12 years old and going to the back section where they had all the weird shit that nobody wanted to watch. And I was like, that's how you discovered Lucia Fulci. But then again, I also
I
watched
thought that
Suspiria.
was
And I
the
was,
porn section.
well, I guess in his video shop in McAllister, it was some weird. I guess they were like, I will just throw the Italians back there.
Weird
That's
rant. Hey, don't stick us all the way in the back. We already did our time.
well, yeah. I mean, like, but that's I'm like, you got the Italians like Lucia Fulci who makes sleazy dog shit, but then you have like Sergio Leone who made The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in the West, like some of the greatest movies ever made. But then there's Fulci, and then there's
Yeah,
like, oh my god, oh my god, you should ask him about some of the Italian movies
I'm
he's
going
seen.
to.
He's seen shit that like you look it up and there's like you look it up on Google and there's like 3 reviews for it. And I'm like, you're one of like 5 people on the planet that have seen this.
That
I
have
don't know.
seen this
I don't know
movie.
how you, I have a couple movies like that too, though, where like nobody's seen it at all, and
That's
it's
hilarious.
uh, but
So
yeah,
before we came on, you were telling me about, it's amazing that you're an author and you're published and you're so young and we were chit-chatting about that and then you were like, but I got a secret. I don't even read books.
that
What
is yeah.
the fuck, bro?
I know that's a weird fucking thing that everybody's just every time I tell someone that they're like, I don't know if they think they've just misheard me or if they're just confused because I think it's a reasonable reaction to have. But I've always had issues focusing like for a
Yeah.
long period of time. It's like when I watch TV shows, like I used to have friends back in high school that would huge into anime, like loved anime. And some I actually do enjoy some anime. I much prefer the movies, but they're sitting there and they're like, yeah, like you just gotta watch it until like season 13 and then it starts getting good. I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that.
Whoa.
Like,
That's a
and I
lot of
look at
time
well,
investment.
yeah. And I like look and each season has like 40 episodes. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I can't even get through half a season. I'm gonna fall asleep or lose interest. Like it's and then you watch it and it's like all the same thing happening for like 30 episodes. But anyways,
Mhm.
yeah, I've always had a hard time kind of focusing on books that were longer. Like I remember a handful of books that I've read that I was able to make it through, which I know some people aren't huge fans of him. I love Ernest Cline's Ready Player One. I really enjoyed that. Don't even get me talking about the movie because I will vehemently hate that movie.
Was it nothing like the book?
Oh my god, no. It's like Steven Spielberg made it, one, which was insane. Which I was like, oh, Steven Spielberg's making it. It's gonna be great. And it was like a shell of itself. I finally
Aw.
understood what people meant when they were like, oh, the book was better. Because I watched that movie. I am a certified Ready Player One movie hater. I hate that movie. I
Wow.
cannot stand it. I love Steven Spielberg, but it takes a lot for me to forgive him for that movie because of how much it destroyed that book for me. It's
Wow.
bad. It's bad. But
That's hilarious.
like I remember the book that I read that like when I read it for the first time, it absolutely blew my mind was Coraline. Coraline
I love
is
Coraline. I didn't read the
incredible.
book. The movie was
You know,
cute.
I read the book when I was like I was probably 15 when I read it for the
Mhm.
first time. And that book scared the shit out of me, dude. It's a freaking
Really?
scary ass book. It is marketed towards kids, and I'm like,
You're like, why is
what
this?
parent would let their kid read this? I mean, I was raised by a bunch of horror obsessed weirdos, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. But
Yeah.
like an average
Normal
parent walking
people?
into the store, like, oh, we'll get the story about the little girl with the cat, and then it's like a mother who's an eldritch horror trying to eat her child, and I'm like, okay,
Oh.
that's normal, I guess.
Yeah.
But well, then I watched the movie, and I love Henry Selick because he made The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I remember watching that, and I was like, this movie is
Yes.
almost as terrifying as the book. It
Is it?
really is. It's a good movie. It's scary. It's
Yeah.
creepy, and the stop motion animation just really cements that creepiness of it. But
It really
I
does.
love Coraline. That book is so immensely inspirational to me as a especially as an author who likes to write scary stuff because
Yeah.
it's not always like about like the creepy monster itself isn't what's scary, it's the implications of the creepy monster and the things that
Yes.
you don't see. I remember specifically the scene that always inspires me to when I write horror because it's the exact type of horror that I like to write. The other mother, the one mom with the button eyes,
Yeah.
is creepy. It's a creepy image, but there's a part of the book that is not in the movie where it's been a long time, so I'm sure I can't remember it perfectly. But there is a sequence where Coraline is in the other world,
Hmm.
and you know that the her other father is like a product of her other mother that she's just kind of created. And she goes down into the basement of the other mother's house, and the other father is down there, but he's like decaying and dying because the other mother's forgotten about him. And it doesn't describe what he looks like, but it talks about him like sounding slurred and different while he's lurking in the dark. And it is so legitimately unsettling to read.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that
That's
and like getting chills down
crazy.
my spine. And I was like, that's the type of shit I want to see because the type of shit I want to write. Because
Yeah.
I don't want you to read like about the monster that has the big teeth and the spines and the face that's melting off. I want you to think about it and have to picture what you think it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what scares me. It's what we don't
Don't
know.
show your hand until the end, and then at least make sure that it's good. Because I don't know if you've seen the movie Nope.
I have, and it's a great movie. Great movie. I love that
Up
movie.
until the end.
When it's, I see, I like the design, but I
Ugh.
admittedly makes it less scary. It makes it less
I
scary,
I
but I
was
like the design.
so disappointed. It was so good till they showed the box. That thing that the flowy thing, it would change and it was a box and it would flow. And I'm just like, this is no,
Well,
just
I like.
ruined it
I'll tell
for
you
me.
what. I'll tell you what I did like about that specifically that I thought was a neat twist. And spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Nope, but it's been out for like 3 years, so I don't
Yeah,
really.
that's your fault.
But yeah, but I liked the twist that the alien was the ship because like that's not what
Yes,
you expect. That was kind of
that's
neat
true.
because
Yes. No,
it's
that
very.
was good.
And Jordan Peele, love him or hate him, was absolutely a visionary. When I saw Get Out for the first time, the movie scared the shit out of me.
Yes.
Scary ass
That
movie,
was crazy.
really
That was
good
a
movie.
crazy movie. I just rewatched it the other day.
I rewatched it last year, and I was like, "Wow, it really holds up as well
Yeah.
as I remembered it holding up."
Well,
It's really good.
I work third shift and there ain't shit to do on third shift. So I write most of my stuff, but my second book is done in my James Brown series. So I'm like editing it, but I didn't feel like looking at words anymore the other day. So
Fair. It's
I
very
wa-
fair.
I watched, and it took me 4 months to write the second book, which is actually a pretty quick turnaround for myself. Not as quick as my earlier guest that I had on, which Saturday we will have on Clay Novak, and who is an author. Very awesome, good conversation. If you want to see how he makes me cry, you guys need to tune in on Saturday. He made me cry on the show. So,
Wow.
but Yeah, and I don't cry for jack shit because I'll tell you right now, the boys always try to get me to cry, like Jack, and when Jeff was alive, Jeff Thompson, when he was alive, we had a show, and he would always try to make me cry. Oh, you got to watch this. This will make you cry, and I'm like, no, it won't. Nothing makes me cry. He did. Clay made me cry. So tune in Saturday on the Book Asylum, and you'll be able to see that Saturday at noon Eastern time is when it'll show. But um, we were talking about how oh shit, now I just lost my train of thought. Menopause is a bitch.
Damn, I cannot relate, but I feel for you. I'm so sorry. Also, just to let you know, to my lady was let me know that the link wasn't working. So I don't know if it's just for her, if it's for everyone else, but the link to view the live wasn't working for her, and I couldn't get it to work either. Actually, I was trying to do it myself, but I'm trying to think of what we were talking about Coraline,
Yes.
and just how I'm not a reader, which is
Yeah.
very odd. I even tried to delve into audiobooks for a little while, and I still go back to them every once in a while. I started listening to some Cormac
I just
McCarthy.
started narrating.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll have to see narrating. I've been
Yeah.
listening to some Cormac McCarthy, and that was that's a scary man to listen to. Listening to what was it, Blood Meridian, which was I got about probably 15 pages into that, and I was like, this is the most horrifying shit I've ever heard in my life. Which that's just an average Cormac McCarthy book. But I mean, movies were always my thing though, which is funny because I mentioned Cormac McCarthy because Cormac McCarthy was always the author. They're like, nobody can adapt his books, like it just can't happen. And then the Coen brothers came in and were like, here's No Country for Old Men, and it's just as good as the book. And that's a movie that I've seen several times at this point that I love. But it was always the visuals for me that really
I And that's how your books go in your head, right? You're a
yeah.
pantser, you're not a planner. You can't sit there and write out a because that's how I am. I can give an extremely when I write anything down in my notebooks, it has nothing to do with the outline. I have who's who, like, who's the bad
Yeah.
guy, why, what are they doing, what's the reason they're being a bad guy, and like I don't like outline my shit. I don't know
I
what my characters are going to
struggle
do.
I know I struggle with that, which is probably why it's been so difficult to delve into writing a novel that's just one long story, because the short stories are good for me because it's short bursts. It's like I have a story that I want to tell, I can confine it in this little area, have enough characterization, but it's not like one continuous story where I have to plot stuff out. Like I'm learning to do that because I'm a growing author, but
Mhm.
short story is definitely where the logical first step. And I always thought for me, like I wanted to write something cyberpunky because when I think of visuals and stuff like that, like movies, the visuals always captivated me.
Right.
Um, the main movie for me, funnily enough, well, I guess not really funny. It's pretty obvious if you know anything about me, but Blade Runner was one that always really spoke to me.
Yeah.
With the visuals, just the there's not a shred of daylight. It's always raining. There's freaking smog choking the streets, advertisements everywhere, and Harrison Ford looks like he's depressed through the entire movie. And I'm like, that's atmosphere. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, it was
I,
nuts.
I love that movie, and its sequel is, in my opinion, even better, which is a pretty high bar. Um,
There was a sequel to Blade Runner?
yeah, it's called Blade Runner 2049. It had Ryan Gosling, and it was
Oh,
directed
I didn't
by
watch that one. I always thought it was a remake.
no, it was a sequel. It was good too. It was really good, way better than anybody thought it was going to be. It was directed by a guy named Denis Villeneuve, who is most famous right now for directing the new Dune movies. Um, but 2049 was the movie where people were like, "Okay, this guy's got some chops. Like this guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
He's a good director." But Blade Runner always really inspired me, just with the atmosphere and the feel of it, and the deeply melancholic kind of sadness of it. And I don't know, I looked to so many movies when writing this book just for things that inspired me. Like I started getting into Italian horror around the time that I started writing it, so I was like just write some creepy, fucked up shit. Put that in there because I wanted to showcase, the
Yeah.
violence of the world and stuff like that. And I was like, the Italians did it right. They knew how to do that.
Some of it, some of it. Sometimes, I mean, obviously they didn't do it
Sometimes,
100% right because some of them got caught.
yeah, well, yeah. And then, but I think for me, I think the thing that like my favorite thing to take inspiration from was old, really like cheesy action movies. Like I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen Escape from New York just because of my dad's love for it with good old Kurt Russell with his eye patch.
Yes.
Love it, love it,
One
just
time.
absolutely
I've
love it.
only seen it one time.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I love it. It's so
It is
cheesy.
ridiculous.
That and I find myself oddly inspired by John Carpenter a lot with like They Live, which is with
Oh,
Roddy
yeah.
Piper, which is such a weird
Yes.
movie too. Love that. It's a goofy movie.
It was a
Oh,
weird movie.
it is so. I still don't really know how I feel about They Live. I just know that I really liked it. Um,
It was a weird movie, and I I loved the idea because it was like everybody was normal till he put those one pair of sunglasses on.
oh yeah, and then it's like after that, all
Then
of a
he's like,
sudden
he's seeing the
the subliminal
monsters.
messages, and then the aliens, and then the iconic, I came here to
Yeah.
kick ass bubblegum line, which has been used so many times throughout
So many.
pop culture. Oh,
It's
but
crazy.
and I didn't know it originated from that movie. And then I watched that movie and I heard it and I was like, oh, that's where that came from this movie. Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, but but really it was always film, and I always was for a little while I was kind of bothered by the fact that I didn't read a whole lot because I was like, is that gonna make people take me less seriously as an author because I don't read?
Right.
But
And you
and
know what? I don't know if that's even going to be an issue
I don't necessarily think it will either. I think if people
because
don't know
they
that
don't,
about it and
right.
they
They don't
read,
care.
yeah, I mean, I think if they read my book, like, I don't think that you would be able to tell from reading that I don't read
Right.
because I'm just like, not to toot my own horn,
Toot it.
but I will
Toot
toot it.
it.
Okay, fine, I'll toot a little bit. I know I can tell a story. I know I can do it,
It's
and I know that
exactly
I'm.
what you need to be saying.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And nobody's perfect. There's always things like even the finished product. I was like, if I keep sitting here trying to perfect this book, it's never gonna fucking come out. Like it's never gonna come out.
And
So
that's true.
yeah, it's never gonna do it. So I just got it and looked at it and I looked at it and I was like, this is good. This is satisfying. I like what I'm reading. I enjoyed writing every second of it. I enjoyed the challenge of it. It was something that it was immensely rewarding to me to finish it. Like just I remember like I typed that last word and you hit Control S on the Word document and you look at it and you're like, man, I did that shit. Like that's
Yes.
me.
I love it when
I
it's
did it.
finished.
It's like I did that, and then I handed it over to my editor, and she edited, it, and I got I got my edits back, and I was like, oh, that's great, and and then at that point I was like, oh, now it's over, and then my cover came in today, and I saw it for the first time. I was like, oh, now that's it. And then I'm like, shit, I got a release I got to look forward to. It's like, damn, the book's
Yes.
not even out yet.
And that's the crazy part is that your first release, your first everything, it never goes away.
No,
It
it
doesn't
doesn't.
matter how many books you've written. It never goes away.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it absolutely doesn't. It's that the magic is still there. Like when I was writing it and it was on Wattpad for free, because that's where this book originated, was on that. And I got probably 4 stories in and I took it down because I got an offer from a publisher. Um, and I wrote all the rest of it. Over 3/4 of the book was not written on Wattpad, but the first quarter was. And I look back at it and I'm like it humble beginnings. I started so small and I've been
Yeah,
writing. I mean, I've been writing since I was 15. I mean, it's been almost 10 years. And
that's
like,
crazy. I can't
what?
even imagine.
Well, and you're always your worst critic, but like
Always.
I will give myself credit. I wrote a novella when I was like probably 16 or 17, and
Mhm.
it's bad. Like I look back at it, it's not good. It's
Oh
really
yeah,
not.
no.
It's
I look
terrible.
at my
But
first book that got published and I'm like, ugh.
yeah, well, I mean, it's like I look back at it now and I'm like, oh my god, there are so many plot issues with this. The
Yes.
dialogue is stilted. The formatting is god awful. And it's
Yep.
like I clearly had no clue what I was doing, and I was just. But I remember every second of writing it was so fun, and I'm like, that's why I write, is because it's
Right.
just
It's that is. It's just fun. Let
fun,
me
and it's
get back here.
therapeutic, and it's cathartic.
It is. Pardon me.
Oh my god, I about had a
So,
heart attack. I went on to Facebook to check that, and I got a black and white picture of Harrison Ford, and I thought he was dead. He's not. I was about to cry.
oh
Whew.
my
every,
God.
every time I see a black and white photo of an old celebrity, I'm like, please don't do that to me. I'm just assuming
Right,
they're dead.
exactly.
Oh my
Well, I'm
god.
hoping that I can get this fixed at some point on so that we can get this out because I don't know what the hell's going on. I set it up to, to live stream on my page. There's going to have to be a way where I can actually download it and I can send it. I can put it on my page where everybody can see it. It just might
Okay.
not be live, which is
Okay.
fine. It is
That's
what it
okay.
is. I'm
I mean,
so
just
annoyed.
I'm guessing
Technology does not like me at all.
that's dude. Technology don't like anybody right now.
Well, and I'm
Technology's
a dummy because earlier I'm telling dude that I'm telling Clay Novak, I'm like, I can't hear you. And he messaged me. He was like, is your volume up? And I'm like, oh no, I'm stupid.
oh my god. I okay. I'll make you feel a little bit better. I was playing a game with a couple of my friends a few months ago, and I went like a long period of time where I was talking, and they
Yeah.
were just talking over me and just ignoring me. I was like, "What the fuck is their problem?" I had my
Right.
fucking microphone muted for like 40 minutes, and I was like, "Jesus."
Oh my
They're like,
God.
"Oh, we thought like something happened." I was like, "No, I just my dumbass didn't realize I was muted." Like
That's
that.
hilarious.
Well, yeah, but it was so infuriating. It was so infuriating. Oh
That
my
is
lord.
hilarious. Oh my
But
God. Well, it's showing that I am sharing it to you.
hmm,
That's crazy. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But I don't know nothing about streaming at all.
Apparently neither do I.
Well, I can't do nothing to help
That's
you.
crazy. This
I'm so
thing's
sorry. I
stupid.
just got to sit here and just be
Oh
full
no,
support.
it's fine. It's me. I need to start, before I start opening my big mouth like, yeah, we can stream live. I need to actually pay attention and see if I can get it done that way. But anyways, so well, we're coming up on the 45-minute mark, well, 43-minute mark, but do you have a website or where, cuz what your book releases when?
It was originally. I actually haven't announced this yet, but it was supposed to come out on the 10th. But we've had a slight delay, so we're pushing it back by a week.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be, if I remember correctly, let me double check because I do not want to give the wrong date. That would be
It's coming
awful.
out this month.
It is coming out the 17th of October. So that's when
Okay.
it comes out, with Journal Stone Publishing, who I've
Yes.
absolutely loved working with. I've loved working with them. They're fantastic. They
That's
published my dad
awesome.
before too, but I was so grateful for them to
Yeah.
give me a chance. I think that my dad reached out to them and like, "Oh, Mer Winnery's son's writing a book. Let's take a look at this guy. Maybe he's half as good as his dad." Which, I mean,
I'm
I'd
sure
like to
you're a
think
chip off the old block.
I would like to think so, and he seems to think so. So that's he. I know he's a little biased, but I'd like to think that he's not blowing smoke
I
up.
also see your dad as someone who's going to be honest with you too.
Yeah, he is. So I mean, he helped me tremendously with some of the issues that I had, like with being a writer and just like trying to
Mhm.
not be a perfectionist. Because like
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many story ideas I scrapped from this collection because I was just trying to make it work. And he had the old, give me the old, you got to kill your darlings sometimes. You got to just put them down and just put them like a dog. It's just that's it.
Yes.
You got to
Yes.
just stash them away. But like, and it's amazing how many ideas like I stashed away that like I came back to like years later. And I'm like, that's actually a
Mhm.
good idea. Most
Yeah.
important lesson you ever taught me: don't ever throw anything away. Never throw away anything I've written
Exactly,
ever.
because you could be using it later.
Yeah, you really can. Like, there's some really great ideas that I'm working on now that are ideas that are not as fleshed out as they could be, but they were ideas that I had a long time ago. That I'm like, this is cool. I think I can do something with this now that I'm older and more mature as a writer.
Yeah. And as a human being, because some things
Yeah,
don't even resonate the same anymore now. It's what they what when you originally, maybe when you were 15, thought of them. It might be
Yeah.
completely different story now that
Oh
you're a
yeah.
little bit older.
Yeah.
Um, do you ever plan on writing an actual, like a standalone book or a series of books, or are you just going to continue to do kind of like collections?
Um. Yes. To answer your question, yes, I do plan on releasing a full book at some
Okay.
point. My next project, I'm trying to challenge myself to do that because I just wrote a collection once, and it was very fun. But like I'm at the point now where it's like I'm going through. I know it's like saying Voldemort, but I'm going through a little bit of writer's block, which I spent 2 years writing a book where I was nonstop writing, and going back to the drawing board. I went through a couple different publishers, and the stress of all that is finally wearing off. And my creativity is like, okay, it's time to settle down for a little bit now and
Yeah.
just breathe and do you, and focus on my relationship and my life and my job, and looking forward at what I want to do. I do have a couple of ideas. Got a Western that I have planned for a little while. I've got
Okay.
my next one that I think I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna hold myself to this, but I'm thinking that the next thing I'm gonna do is a gothic horror novel. Or my big project, which I'm not gonna do next. I wanted to do it next, but I don't think I should. Is probably going to be a sword and sorcery trilogy. Um, that I've been building the world for it for probably close to 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, and it's decently fleshed out, but it's not quite where I want it to be yet. And I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw some advice that was like, if you have a dream project, don't ever let that be like one of the earliest things that you do. Develop more as a writer and then go for it. Because once you write and release that dream project, you cannot get it back.
To
And
make sure that you are
yeah,
where you need to be to do it
correct.
and be
Yeah,
proud of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
and it's
get
and
it.
yeah, and that's where I'm at with that. I have a prologue for it, and it's a really good, solid prologue. I read it a bunch of times, and I'm like, I don't have anything I want to change. Like, it's great, it's perfect, but I feel like the rest of the story needs time to cook before I'm ready to pull it out of the oven.
Okay.
And that's I'm planning on that one being a trilogy, because if it was going to be one book, it'd be too damn long. No publisher is going to want to put it out, so it would have to be a trilogy of smaller
You
books.
could probably go with Stephen King's publisher.
I'm good. I don't think they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna bite. I don't think they're gonna bite on the next sword and sorcery epic. I think we've had enough Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. People are gonna be like, no, I don't know about that. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Who
Maybe
knows?
maybe George R. R. Martin's publisher will take a liking to it. Who knows? But
Maybe.
yeah, I mean those are my plans right now. Is I have three that are big ones that I know I want to do, and then I have a fourth one that is a very surrealist horror detective noir that's set in
Okay.
it's in like a sleepy town at the middle of nowhere. Like
Mhm.
I discovered David Lynch and I watched Twin Peaks for the first time, and I was like, I've gotta make a noir. Like, I just love it. I saw Twin Peaks and I watched Blue Velvet and Mulholland Drive, and I was like, I need to make something that is so fucking weird. People are
Yeah.
just like, it's a
People
book
are
that
going,
I
"What
know
the hell did I just read?"
that's the point, because I remember like there were points watching Twin Peaks where it's like I'm like, who is this for? Like, I don't know who he made it for, but other than himself, but I love it. And I'm writing it because I love it, because it's so me. Like, it's my type of horror. It's weird. It's just super out there, and I don't know how many people are gonna love it. That's why I'm kind of on the fence about making it my next one, because it's
Right.
strange. But like, there's like, for me, like I always go to this example because I think it's just perfectly encapsulates what I love about writing weird shit. In Twin Peaks season one, spoilers if you haven't seen a show that came out 30 years ago, but
Your
there's
fault.
see at the end of season one, the main guy, Dale Cooper, the FBI agent, he gets shot in the chest by like an unknown person, and that's where the season ends. And you're like, holy shit, like, what's gonna happen next? And back then they had to wait
Right.
a year for it, but me, I went straight to the next episode because I own the series. And then season two, like, there's been hints of supernatural things, but the season two opens with him bleeding out on the floor, And then all of a sudden, this giant, like an actual literal giant, materializes out of thin air, walks into the room, and it's just like, I'm going to tell you 3 things. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And
What?
I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, I'm enthralled by it. It's the mystery of it that's so enthralling. And that's what I want to do. I want to create something that is mysterious, that makes people just enveloped in a mystery. Even if they don't necessarily, have the outcome that they expect, it's something that keeps you enthralled because you want to know what strange thing is going to occur in the story next.
Right.
And I like that. It's something I've always admired about that series. Something I've always admired about that series and that filmmaker is just, he is so unashamedly just strange, and that's what makes him so beautiful as a storyteller, because he tells his story in his own way, and it's up to you whether or not you want to dive deep enough to try and digest everything that's there.
Yeah.
And I like that. I've always really liked that.
I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be you. I really do.
Hope so.
I really do.
I hope so.
Well, listen, we are at the 50-minute mark, 51-minute mark. I want to know where people can find you.
So right now, I don't have my own website. I probably should get on that at some point. But I do have a Facebook page.
You're adorable.
The Facebook page. I have a Facebook page. It's just Cam Winery. That's the name, KAMWHINERY. That's my name on there. It's just a black and white picture of me on there, and I've just been posting little snippets. I'm not very active on there, but now that I'm getting closer to the release of my first actual book, I think I'm gonna have to start getting on there and being a little more active. I want to talk to some more people. Like I said, Dad got me connected with you, and it's great to talk to someone else in the industry just to get to know the ins and outs of what's going on here. It's cool, because I did feel like a little lost puppy when I first entered this industry and was meeting people for the first time. It was very daunting, especially as a younger person, because my dad was in his late 30s when he started writing, and I'm early 20s, and I'm meeting all these people.
Some people are cruel.
They are. I mean, some people can be cruel. I mean, I'm lucky enough that I haven't run into any rude people yet, but I'm so...
Well, good. You run into any rude people, you tell Auntie Jen, and Auntie Jen will come and whoop their ass. So
I will absolutely do that. But yeah,
get a website.
I will get a website.
Get a website.
But for now, just Cam Winery on Facebook, and I do have an Instagram account that's just Cam Winery the writer. That's what the account name is called. And that's really about it right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot else going on. It's that the upcoming release of this book is kind of like, it's shut a fire at my ass. I'm like, I should probably get a little more active.
Should probably promote it a little bit.
Probably would be a good idea. Yeah. But
should probably put out there the cover.
Yeah, well, okay. In my defense, I just got that like an hour ago. So believe it or not, I am
excuses.
Right, yeah, fine. Fuck me, I guess. Yeah, whatever. But
you're getting it.
I will definitely get on that as soon as we're done here, because I want to get that out there. But I've talked to my dad. I'm like, my promotion is just going to be posting little bits of lore and just letting people do with that what they will, because that's how I want to do it.
That's perfect. Set up some scheduled so that they're coming out every day and people see your cover every day, because you want people to get sick of seeing it, but they got to buy the book because they're intrigued.
Maybe if I buy it, they'll stop posting all these fucking ads all the time. I'll stop seeing it. Yeah, it's like
that could be one of your posts. This automatically knows when you buy the book, and when you do, you stop seeing these ads.
There you go. So if you just buy it for like, I don't know how much, like $17.95 or whatever.
Being a cheapskate.
Yeah, for only then you'll stop seeing it. Just stop being cheap. Pull out your wallet. I know you can afford it.
It's a book. You need to read, you illiterate bastard.
Yeah, it's like just want some support. We don't want there to be an entirely paperless society. Let's just get a physical book.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit if it's paperless. Just buy it. I don't care.
Just buy the damn
book. Just give it a read, because it's something that I think a lot of people, I think it's a universal thing to just be able to look and see that this is something very personal, and it means a lot. And when art is made with love, and passion.
Yes.
You can absolutely tell. Just like you can
Yes.
tell when it is made by someone who wants to grab a quick buck. Like, why
Yes.
the fuck does Stephen King keep writing sequels to his books?
Yeah.
Make a new book. Please, for the love of God. Just make
Or just retire.
He could do that. He's been writing since like what, like 1969 or something like that. I don't know. He bro
Way
can just
before I was
retire.
born. So
Well, I
that's
wasn't even
a
I
long
wasn't
time.
I wasn't even a blip on my parents' radar whenever he
No,
was
I think
writing.
your father was born around that time too. You know, him and I are
Yeah,
both Gen Xers.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's but yeah, I
But
mean it's
yeah,
a book that I'm very passionate about. I absolutely love it. And I think the most exciting to me about all this is just knowing that people are gonna get to see it and read it and hopefully experience even just a fraction of what I felt when writing it. And if it's not for
yeah.
you, it's not for you. But I think that it's something that I think most people can at least take something away from when they're done reading it,
There's
even
different
if it's
stories in
not.
there. You've got to have
Yeah,
something for everybody.
there's something for. But look, if I can write cyberpunk, sword and sorcery, and horror in one book, then like, I mean, fucking come on.
You're goddamn right.
Like,
You're goddamn right. Go
like
buy the fucking
there's
book,
some.
people.
Yeah, yeah. If there's not something in there for you, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You just gotta hate fun or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't
I
like
don't
yourself, let alone other things.
there,
All
yeah,
right,
there you
buddy.
go.
Well, I want to thank everybody who did not join in because we're having technical issues. But I
It's
want
about.
to,
Oh man,
regardless, we are going to have you back on. You're going to be a staple on this damn show. I am so
I
excited
would
to
love
see what
to.
you do. Yes. I am so excited to see what you do. I am so excited to see your up and coming stuff. Good luck, kid. I am so proud of you. And I don't even
Thank
know you.
you.
This is amazing. And you can always message me if you have any questions. Okay.
Of course, yeah. Well, I appreciate the warm welcome to the podcast and the warm welcome into the industry. I've only met good people so far, and I know that's not
Good.
going to last forever, but I'm
No.
just enjoying it while I can. I know I'm going to meet someone that's just a dick at some point, so I'm just enjoying the nice
Oh,
people while
yeah.
I can.
Enjoy it now.
Well,
But
thank you for having me on, Jen. It was a lot of
thank
fun. I
you
really
so
enjoyed it.
much. And thank you, everybody who did not watch because we are retarded over here. And I appreciate your time. Hang tight with me. I'm just going to end the stream and we'll see you guys next time.